You know, if that thing crashes to Earth, Candace is in charge.
Once upon a time, there was a site called Channel Awesome. It brought together much talent for movie reviews, comic reviews, anime, books, the like, all those. And it was a pretty good site for a while. It had lots of talent, lots of people, and they did a lot together. They would even go and do some anniversary videos together to go and come together and just give the fans what they want. And for a while, it worked. The site was pretty popular. A lot of the people became well known there. It looks like it was going to work out. But the fairy tale didn't last. As you probably know, in the last few days, or even though it's kind of been a few years actually, but it's really blown up in the last few days, Channel Awesome has just really gone downhill. And if you don't know what Channel Awesome is the site where Nostalgia Critic comes from, where Linkara comes from, the Nostalgia Chick, Todd in the Shadows, and a lot more. Film Brian, let's see, the Cinema Snob, just lots of people there who went and got popular at that place. But those days are long since gone. It's a much different site now, and in the past few days, a lot of the controversies have really gotten to it. And a lot of people who worked there in the past or who were fans have just gone out and said what their experience with working with Channel Awesome was like or has been like, and it really hasn't been that good. A lot of people have just been giving really horrible experiences of working with Channel Awesome and just saying at first it was great, but then it just steadily got worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's not looking too good right now. And I've been a fan of the Nostalgia Critic since 2010, so it's been 8 years since I started watching the Nostalgia Critic, and back then Channel Awesome was only a couple years old, and it was at the height of its popularity back then. All the people were there, it was having its anniversary videos, it was very popular back then, but today it's a whole nother story. And I never really watched too many of the other people there. I did watch Angry Joe from time to time, still kind of do. I watched a few of Linkara's videos, and I think a few of the Nostalgia Chicks, but other than that, I really didn't care for anybody else. They just never really interested in me that much, so I just stayed away from them. But if people like them, I acknowledge that and just let them have their fun. So to go and see Channel Awesome just go and fall down like this is really sad. It's quite just kind of shocking. And the CEO of the site, Michaud, I think his name is, it seems a lot of the blame is going to him. And just, a lot of people are just saying really bad things about him. They are saying that just he was a really demanding person, saying that, no, you had to do this, and a bunch of that. They are saying he was kind of a misogynist. He talked down to the female workers a lot different than he talked to the male workers, and he would just kind of be more likely to go and fire them than they would a male worker. So a lot of people are saying he had misogyny in him. He would just go and blow up people for no reason, just get all mad, and then he would have to go and bring someone else in to go and talking for him. So a lot of blame is going for this guy. I never really knew who he was, because I don't think he ever made videos for the site, so I don't really know much about this guy, but if they are true, it's because he is the owner of the site. It could really hurt him, and I'm guessing they probably are true because so many people are just saying so many bad things about him right now, and people are just now making fun of him right now, and he hasn't come out and said anything, and I doubt he even will. The Channel Awesome Twitter did go out and give out an apology, but I'm not sure if he was the one who did it or someone else was, but they're trying to go and get out of this mess right now, and it's really hard for them. And it's just, the people there shouldn't be treated like that. And even though I never really watched any of their videos, I've heard just a lot of bad things from them, like people from Linkara and Obvious Lupa and a bunch of other people who are just going and saying that their experience there was good at first, but then it just slowly got worse, and it was just hard to work with Mike. It was hard to work with this other Mike guy, Mike Ellis, I think. I mean, Doug would kind of be demanding at times, and Rob would just kind of go and get in the way, and he and Doug would get in fights supposedly, and it's kind of amazing just to know all this stuff is going behind the scenes, because whenever they're on camera, they always look happy, like they're having a great time, just, oh, we're having so much fun, group hug. And then behind the scenes, just all this crap is supposedly going on. So, and yeah, really none of this stuff really should be even happening. I mean, even people like Todd in the Shadows and the Nostalgia Critic Lindsay Ellis, I really don't agree with their views. They are kind of very social justice warrior type. Just look on their Twitter. They are very social justice warrior, and I just can't watch it or look at anything they say, but even then, they don't deserve this kind of treatment. No one does. And the treatment that they got is just, from what I read, is just kind of horrible. Like I said, they got yelled at. If they didn't go and meet their deadlines, they got in trouble. They were threatening to get fired. And from what I heard at the anniversary videos, they always had to work really hard. They got really little pay. There was really no food or drinks provided for them when they were working, and then Doug would pretty much just go and try to go and say these things that that their caterers wouldn't usually say, and it would just make them kind of Nostalgia Critic 2 or Nostalgia Critic 3, and a bunch of that kind of stuff, and when they were going and filming, Doug would even go and get passerbys from people who were just walking by and say, yeah, just kind of walk over there, just don't pay attention to the camera, okay? Or maybe you could be in script and say this, just yeah, and supposedly to the other people it was just really embarrassing, and like I said, I've been watching the Nostalgia Critic for 8 years, and he's really influenced a lot of my videos. He's the reason my videos are the way they are, and to go and kind of learn this stuff about him and Rob and that Mike guy, just, it really hurts. It's kind of bad, and just, I'm sure Doug is a nice guy, I'm guessing, but I'm sure he is, but then I'm hearing a lot of people say that he's just kind of a nice guy on camera as long as you do what he says, but if you don't, he might kind of get just a little... So just... And Doug, too, hasn't really responded to this yet. Even in his most recent Nostalgia Critic video, which was on Woody Woodpecker, he didn't say anything about it. And that was... I'm not sure if he said anything about it before, since before this it was Disney live action movie month, and that I didn't care for at all. It just seemed really, really dumb, and I don't care for the clips reviews as well. They were boring, and a lot of people are just saying that the recent changes over the last few years for Channel Awesome has just been really bad, and when they were doing Taboli 3, supposedly Doug never said that he was ending the Nostalgia Critic originally. And of course, that is where most of the avenue came for the website. The Nostalgia Critic was the main focus, and for a while, yeah, the views dropped quite a lot when Doug left, and it got to the point where he had to go and get rid of Dimmer Rear and bring back the Nostalgia Critic, and a lot of people are saying that he wanted to bring it back, and yeah, I'm sure that's true to an extent, but he also wanted to get past it and just do his Dimmer Rear thing, but it didn't go by well, and it hurt anybody and it got people mad at him. It just didn't do well, and in the long run, it really, really hurt. And he just probably should have stuck to the Nostalgia Critic. Maybe just go and do the Nostalgia Critic and demo reel at the same time. Just do about 2 Nostalgia Critics, maybe a month or so, and then see how demo reel would do. And if it failed, go back to what he did. And if demo reel was a success, then he could get rid of the Nostalgia Critic. Maybe that's what he should have done instead of what he's been doing. And even now, people are saying that he's the site isn't doing well again, and that's one of the reasons he's gone back to doing 4 reviews a month, and it's more like 2 reviews and 2 mini reviews, since he usually has 2 reviews that have Malcolm and Tamara in it, and then 2 reviews that are just don't have them in it and are kind of like the classic era reviews. But he's not doing editorials anymore, and that I really miss, because I like the editorials. They were fun. They were short. They could be kind of educational when it comes to movies. They were fun. I really liked the What You Never Knew stuff. That stuff was pretty cool. But it didn't really last that long, and now it's just the shorter reviews, and they're good, but I do wish once in a while he would go and do an editorial. And you know, all of this is coming from a guy who actually kind of had a hand in making an episode of his. It was his Christmas with the Cranks video, and I actually it was during a Q&A, and I was like, you know, you should do a video where you and your old self go and argue over a movie or something like that. And he responded to me and said, you know, that's a great idea. I like that. Thanks. And because of that, I actually got to go and got not a free copy, but I got to download some reviews that were never seen before at the time, and right now they're on my channel. Yeah, but they're on my channel, and they're pretty good reviews, but I got them for free, and the review that he did was Christmas with the Cranks, and it wasn't exactly like how I saw it. I saw this as more the old critic and the new critic going against a review, and how they have different, I guess, I don't know, views towards it. But mostly it was just they were separated from each other, and the old critic was just like, and it's just pretty much like an and out with the old, in with the new kind of thing. And some fans liked it, some fans didn't. That I do understand, but it was pretty cool to kind of have a upper hand in that. And he later sent me a thank you letter saying a lot of people like the review, thanks. And unfortunately, I don't have the letter anymore since my computer crashed. I do think it is in a video I made, but as for the original letter, it's long gone. So I should have saved it on a disc or anything like that, but I didn't, so it's gone. So many people are just going and making their responses on this right now, whether they worked on Channel Awesome, or they personally knew Doug as a fan, or just watched him. So many people are just going and putting their responses right now and going and change the channel, because we don't want Channel Awesome to go and completely crash and burn. I mean, I don't want Doug just to go and fade away, because I mean, I don't think this stuff will get so bad where I mean, it will go and hurt him in a way that he will lose the Nostalgia Critic, and he'll have to go and get a job at a Starbucks or anything like that. I at least hope that doesn't happen, but that's one of the consequences when you do end up working a career on YouTube, or just a video career on the internet in general. One day you could be at the top, and the next day you're nobody. Ask What the Buck. He had the same thing. One day he was really popular, getting millions of views. Today I think he's lucky to get 40,000 at best. So it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter who you are, you can still go and just become a nobody on the internet, just like that. So, just what has been going on with Channel Awesome over the last few years? I mean, I know it's been pretty bad. A lot of people have been leaving because, I mean, there was Spoonie and what he did. There was the death of Jew Wario, his suicide, and just person after person after person leaving. At this point, I think the only people on there are of course, Doug and Rob and anybody who works on The Critic. Let's see, I think Todd in the Shadows is still there. I think, I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that Angry Joe is still there. And, the Cinema Snob. And the Cinema Snob is good friends with Doug, and from what I heard, he has no intention to go and back off. So, it is good to see that he is standing by his friend and despite all this controversy. And I think Phil and Brian, after all this, has also recently left. So, that's another person. My guess is that probably Todd and Shadows will be next, and then Angry Joe, and after that, it would just be Doug and Brad. And maybe Joe if he doesn't go. But at this point, it's just, who knows? Because, I mean, back in the day, The Critic used to always have these crossover reviews with these people. He did it with Cara, Lindsay, the Phileas, or whatever his name is. He had all these reviews with them, and now he never does. I think once in a while he'll work with Lynn Cara, but other than that, he's pretty much moved on for these people because they hate him. They don't like him. So, only time will tell what will happen in the next few weeks, if the stuff's going to get worse, if Doug or Rob will go and respond about it. We don't really know. I really hope it doesn't get that much worse but, you know, stuff is piling up about Mike and the other Mike and Doug and Rob, and the longer they keep quiet about it, could just get worse. If they just need to go and open up about whether. And I also looked on Doug Walker's Facebook, and he said nothing about it, and not even his fans are saying anything about it on his Facebook, and unless he's deleting them, which is even worse. Please don't be doing that, Doug. But people are responding about it on his most recent review, and you are going to have to go and talk about this just sooner or later, for your own good. I don't want you to go. I'm a fan of you. I'm standing by you until the very end, unless this really bad stuff goes on about you, and who knows, if that stuff happens, maybe I will end up losing respect in you, but I don't want that to happen. I don't want the guy who I've been influenced by for the last 8 years just to go and kind of be on my hate list. I really don't want that to happen. So, that's all I have to say about this, and it's getting pretty bad right now. It's just, I've gone forum to forum just to see people just go and talk about this stuff. A lot of people are now turning on Doug and Rob and everyone there, and it's bad. Really, really bad. So, hopefully this stuff will pass by, but if it doesn't, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few months.